Hi, Sharks. My name is Ryan Frame. I'm from Portland, Oregon, and my company is Windcatcher Technology. And I'm here today seeking $200,000 in exchange for 8% of my company. Now, anyone who's tried inflating an object like this knows what a huge pain it can be. They take forever to inflate to put your mouth on a valve. You can see here that after I've blown into this conventional valve twice, this bag is hardly inflated. Well, Windcatcher changes all that. Which is a single breath of air that was able to inflate this entire shark. And this is because Windcatcher is a radically different inflation technology that allows you to inflate an object this size in seconds without using any power or pumping.
Wow.
Now, we've already integrated this technology into our flagship product, AirPad 2, which, like all of our products, inflates and packs up in seconds.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But because it's so easy to inflate, I also designed it to fold up and double as a seat. So as you can see, you can attach these straps and use it as both a seat or a pad. And Sharks, this is just the beginning. The applications for Windcatcher's technology are endless. So let me ask you, which one of you is ready to help me blow away the competition?
All right, ding ding. I mean, that is a pretty convincing demonstration there, right? I mean, there's a lot of time to show the demonstration. I almost wish like Ryan had brought somebody with him so that he could talk while they're blowing, or even two people, right? Like, hey, we're gonna do a race. Like one person's blowing up like a traditional mouth, but they put their mouth on a valve, and then the other person's blowing up their AirPad, right? And it's like, boom, here we go. This is how it's done. This is why you need to invest in this. And at $200,000 for 8%, I mean, it's hopefully. I mean, obviously, if Ryan's on version 2, there's definitely some sales. Now, this is going back to what season 7. I have never actually watched this pitch before, so it was after I had kind of taken a break from watching seasons 2 to season 6. But yeah, so I'm interested to see what happened here as well as after Shark Tank. So we're gonna check out Ryan's website, social media after the fact, as well as go down a bit of a rabbit hole because I started to watch the pitch, paused it, and went and Googled some of the competitors that I've seen since this came out, which I guess was like 2016 or so, like that, something like that. Because I felt like, oh, I've seen things like this before, but not quite what Ryan's got going on here. So yeah, so we'll check out all that at the end, as well as feature one of your comments from down below in the super community, because this is a request video from 2 different members of the super community. So we're gonna feature one of those comments from at the end of the video as well.
Ryan, that was really impressive.
Thanks.
You're going to tell us how it works, right?
So what's happening is, and the reason it's different than an ordinary valve, is because we take advantage of this phenomenon called entrainment. So it's entraining or sucking in the surrounding air. So each time I blow into this valve, it's actually sucking in the surrounding air. It's a stream of fast-moving, low-pressure air. So it inflates 10 times faster than a conventional valve.
What premium do I pay for this technology versus any other air mattress?
We sell our AirPad for $99.95.
So all that's different about that is from the valve forward. Otherwise, it's a standard AirPad.
Except with our ability to fold it up into a seat. Yes, it's a utility bed.
Are you an engineer?
No, I don't have a background in engineering. I've just been trying to invent stuff for a long time, and obviously this is the most successful.
Entrainment is pretty fancy stuff that hasn't been introduced to a consumer market.
After a trip to my family at the beach, and we were all inflating those terrible, pool rafts with those tiny little valves. And when I got home from Portland, I did a bunch of research. And so I was sitting on the floor of my apartment, and so I blew into this bag, but this time I left a little space between me and the bag, and it instantly inflated. And I went, holy crap, I don't know what's going on. But, I went on Google, and with a bunch of trial and error, was able to figure out that it was, in fact, entrainment, refine the idea down, come up with this valve, and all the other things that make up Windcatcher.
Very interesting.
That is fascinating, right? I like the necessity is the mother of all invention, and in this case, wanting to solve a problem and going and using Google, right? Your degree in Google is so invaluable. You go and you take what you can find, see what other people have done, build upon that, implement it, and then go to town and get yourself a patent. I think for $99.95, I mean, it's a little bit on the expensive side as far as a air mattress is concerned, but one that you could blow up yourself without the need of a battery, which adds weight. One or bringing a battery powered inflator like separate, not just a air mattress with one built in. I mean, that's pretty awesome. I used to have one that had a built-in battery. The problem is it wouldn't inflate without the battery being charged. So once the battery died, it pretty much was game over for that. I mean, I got like a good 10, 12, 15 years out of that air mattress, but not that I was using it every day. But I think for like camping and things like that, like this is a great idea. That's really lightweight.
So how long you been doing it?
May 2013 is when we did our Kickstarter.
What's the
And what's
revenue
the
today?
sales over that time?
165,000.
I'm trying to figure out, do you want to build a business around a technology that's proprietary and all your products have this Windcatcher inflation scheme to it? Or do you want to license it country by country, region by region, both?
Both. There are a ton of products that I wouldn't want to make, like medical products. An inflatable donut for a woman after she's given birth, you know, they use those.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to make that because it's not good for the Windcatcher brand. But there's still potential. Windcatcher's about travel and outdoor gear. You don't make, you know, hemorrhoid pillows and attach your name to that.
Ryan, break it down for me. How much does it cost you to
Oh,
make?
come on.
What do you
You could make another another brand to go around it. It's not impossible. It just takes more. Look, we get three resources in life, right? Time, energy, and money. If you sell enough of the Windcatchers, then you have the money, right? You don't have to invest as much time and energy in building that other brand because you can, deploy that money in that direction.
I don't want to reveal my cost, but I can tell you our margins are 60%, and that's selling to retailers.
How are we supposed to invest in your business if you don't tell us anything?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's margins of 60%.
So five figures, substantial revenue, 6 figures, 7
Well,
figures?
if it was $1 million, I wouldn't be here. I would have enough money.
Okay.
If this technology has merit, and clearly it does, I look at you, you're the only guy in the business, a little bit of a mad scientist guy, okay, got it.
Okay.
But there are very big players in the air mattress business.
Oh, yeah.
And one strategy is you're going to disrupt their business by stealing all their share. They could love you a lot more if you simply said, I'm going to change the market for you. I'm going to go to the biggest guy. I'm going to license this. I want 80 cents, 60 cents, whatever it is. And then you just stay in your apartment on the phone, and a check comes every month.
That's crazy boring. Once you invent something, you don't want to give that up and have somebody screw up how that gets deployed out into the world.
But I don't think it's an either or. I
That's
think you can do
true.
both.
I don't think so
But
either.
I think you can drive up the royalty sales exactly by selling more.
Exactly.
Clearly, you're a very innovative guy, but building a business to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million, it's a different skill set. Maybe you have it, maybe you don't. I don't know. You're a single guy in the basement right now. So I'm going to structure an offer to you that reflects that risk to me as an investor, okay?
Before we get to his deal, look, being an inventor, as Ryan pointed out, like you're creating and creating and creating and creating, and you hope that something is going to catch fire and go, right? And in Ryan's case, this is that product. This is that technology, and I don't disagree that it is boring to get those checks in the mail, right? But it depends, right? It depends on really what you want to do. Like Ryan gets those checks in the mail. He can create product. He get in theory, he'd get enough checks in the mail that he could go and do his camping adventures and stuff. Most days of the week, and when he is home, he's inventing and building out the next thing because he has the money and the time and the energy to do it and the headspace to be able to do it. I mean, that is big when it comes to creating things, being in the right headspace. And clearly, if Ryan feels, I get that how he would feel passionate about it, but you can also structure those deals so they're not in perpetuity forever and always. Make it so that the deal, has some kind of end to it so that they have to come back to you, you renegotiate and things of that nature. Maybe not in a year or 5 years. It might be 10 years, but in the meantime, you're getting checks, right? You're getting money and you're working towards that next product that you want to build. And I think that's where it's maybe not the best idea to be somewhere in the middle. But even if you just license that tech not to an air mattress company, maybe to the inflatable donut industry, right? Things of that nature.
You need capital. How much do you covet your equity?
Extremely. Because I really do believe it's going to be worth $50 million in just 3 years.
All right, so I'm going to structure something that reduces the amount of equity I ask for and gets your capital.
Okay.
I'll give you the $200,000 as venture debt.
Okay.
Here's how it works. I'm going to ask you for 6% of everything you sell until you've returned me $800,000, okay? And then it goes away, it's gone, and I want 3% equity for providing this facility. You can counter if you think that's unfair, or you may find a better deal and give up more equity, I don't know.
So I'm quadrupling the amount of money that you give me, and in exchange, you're keeping 3% of my company? Is that right?
You have no money, and maybe one of these sharks will give you the money, but you're going to give up 8% of your company for it, or more.
So here's my...
I mean, 200,000 isn't going to really go very far in general. So I think it just depends on what you're trying to accomplish with that 200,000. I mean, obviously, if Ryan said, like, well, if it was, I sold millions of these or millions of dollars worth, I wouldn't be here looking for a deal. Again, 200,000 is not that much money to be looking for in the first place. And especially if you truly believe you're heading to the $50 million kind of air, that's a very expensive offer to and then have to give up 3% of the business. Now, in the meantime, you do have access to Mr. Wonderful. You get those deals structured so you can get some of that sweet mailbox money, but while you're trying to build the business. But it's going to be, it's going to be a lot of light lessons that go along with building get up towards a $50 million business.
Concern, Kevin. I'm asking for the $200,000 because I need to use it, and you want me to start paying you back immediately at this 6%
Do you think money's
royalty.
free, Ryan? Do you think I just give it away because I don't care about it?
No, I hope not.
I'm asking for return. Do you think that's unfair?
I think it's unfair for you to ask for me to give it back right away. I'm asking because I plan on using it
reduced the
and
amount I was
investing it in the company.
Why don't you counter me something that you would do?
I love that he is writing on
Seems
the
like a
sand.
good time for somebody else to jump in with an offer.
Sure is.
Me, all right?
You have no money, and maybe one of these sharks will give you the money, but you're going to give up 8% of your company for it, or more.
Seems like a good time for somebody else to jump in with an offer.
All right, Ryan, I'll give you an offer.
Yay, let's go, Laura.
I'll give you $200,000,
Okay.
but I want 15%.
Oh, wow.
That sounds expensive, Lori.
Well, I think you need a lot of help. You're a one-man band. You need to be making a lot of other products with this great technology. That's what I'm really good at, but it's going to require me to be there helping you and also helping with the sales and getting into the retail. I love how you write on your hand.
Yeah,
do
it's
that too.
It's hard for me to...
Yeah, that's
I
not,
write it on my
that's not
hand.
strange at all. That doesn't make me feel nervous at all.
Hey, Laura.
Yeah, no, and you shouldn't, right? Like, you got a problem, you solve the problem. Pen solves the problem. I'm taking notes, he's taking notes. Ding ding. It's one of those things. Look, I think that Lori is coming in a bit rich. She's not wrong. He definitely does need the help. There's room. Hopefully there's room to move. He could maybe push her down to like a 10%. So he's only giving up 2% more. But then again, look, if you really believe $50 million is in your future, $50 million valuations in your future, giving up that 7% more, 12, 13, I don't know, I can't math. Oh no, it was 8%. Yeah, giving up that 7% more. I was looking at the 6% in Kevin's deal. Giving up that percent more is not going to be the end of the world, long, big term, big picture. But I also would probably look to say, could you give a little bit more money? Get like $250.
Hey, do you have some room in your deal? Because I think I could bring a complementary set of strengths to this deal. I'm very intrigued by the technology. I do know it solves a real pain point. I think one of the things you really need help with is telling the story about the next dozen products. We have to develop the prototypes that show how it might be used in a medical setting, how it might be used in a recreational rafting setting, and those kinds of things.
Right.
I would love to come in and see part of that deal.
You take the licensing end and I take the consumer end, but for both of us together, we would need a higher equity stake.
I hear that.
We would need a little higher percentage. But remember something, you now would be a 3-man band, 2 being sharks, which that's huge.
You just don't own any of your company anymore.
20%.
Ouch.
For 20%.
Ouch.
I just stop you guys. I wouldn't do that deal because we've gotten guaranteed royalty deals that I turned down that were for over $2 million of guaranteed royalties.
Right. I love the product. And I love the fact that you're a little bit odd. Odd people make great things,
Thanks.
right? I'll give you the $200,000 for 10%.
All right.
I like the fact you're bringing it to market because that's how you get a better licensing deal later on.
Well, we'll do the 15%.
So 200,000 for 15%. I'll do that deal.
Now, if you have to write that down, you're going to run out of hand space.
Yeah, I know.
And you'll learn why it's important to travel with paper.
Yours is $200,000 for 10. Would you be willing to also include a $10 million line of credit for purchasing orders at the prime interest rate?
Why do you want to give up all the equity day one? I'll drop my ask down to 2.
You say $10 million? Wow. I mean, that is a lot of air mattresses. That is for sure. But it's good to see Kevin like squirming a little bit there. I think Chris and Lori coming down to 15% works. You're giving up what? Math is 7.5% per piece. You wanted 8%. Yeah, you're not getting as much money. Counter back and they ask for your $10 million line of credit. That is rich for a company that's sold $165,000 in products so far.
2%, just to keep it interesting. Yep, get that paper out.
I'll give you the $200,000, 10% back to purchase orders.
Came in here with a valuation that I believed was fair, more than fair.
Okay, so Ryan, I give you $200,000 for 8%, back up your purchase orders, done deal, right?
Sounds
Or
like a really
if
good
I
deal.
give you $200K
No, it's either a yes or no.
with
That's
Chris
what you asked for.
8%.
Ryan, it's what you asked for.
It is.
Across the board.
There you go.
I'll give you the $200,000 for 6.5%.
Really?
The equity is really important to you.
Yes.
Look, what's 1.5% to me if this thing goes to where you're going to go?
It will.
Ryan, I'll drop my ask down to 1%. I'll give you what you need, the $200,000.
Ryan, I gave you more than
I
you were
just-
asking for.
I'll give you
I'm surprised he's not writing on his other hand at this point. Like that is, it is a frenzy going on here. Down to 1% because that patent is, in theory, is worth a ton of money if you can apply it to so many different industries. Anything that requires air to be put into it could, in theory, use that. It's incredible to me that more things don't use it. We had like a kid slide into the pool that has to be blown up. We got to get the air, machine out to blow it up because you just can't blow it up by hand. Like it's just too much. It's just too much. Even with a pump is too much. So you need an electric pump to handle it. And if there was a way to do it where I could like blow into it 5 times and pretty much have it blown up, like that would be awesome. Then I would actually not mind draining the air out of it because I could probably get the air out a lot quicker, and then store it a lot more often than just leaving it out and having it sit out in the weather more often than not.
Just give me 1% of the company.
I want to hear the
I'll
answer.
give you the $200,000, 6.5%. It's more than you came in here asking for. Come on, Ryan.
I just changed my deal.
Lori, let me get it.
I've changed my deal. I'm going to give you $200,000 for 5%. Chris isn't in the deal, but you need to just say yes now. And I'll fund the purchase orders. Just you and me.
$200,000 for 5%.
Left at the altar.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh my
Hey,
God. Sorry, Chris.
Ryan.
You, Lord.
Fellow inventor. All right, now we
Awesome.
got work to do. Thank you.
Congrats.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Chris, Lori just threw you
Sorry,
under a
Chris.
bus. She doesn't give a damn about you.
It went too low. I'm sorry.
Welcome to the Shark Tank.
I'm definitely still processing what happened. I'm still freaking out. With the deal I got today with Lori, I believe it's going to allow me to move Windcatcher in the direction that I feel the company should go.
well, let's check in and see where we're at. So the website does not load currently. If you go over to the Facebook, you got 1,800 likes 1,800 followers. Apparently, one person mad about this. Support the Ultra AirPad today and get ready for the outdoors. Lori was great, but Windcatcher was involved in a legal battle that arose after the show was aired. That lawsuit was the reason for our deal not going through. In the end, Windcatcher was awarded the full patent for our Windcatcher valve, but most of our revenue had gone to paying our legal bills. Thank you for the support. Not all Shark Tank was great for business. Lori decided not to invest due to the legal dispute. No sense getting into business when the company is already in court. We're happy that we finally received the full patent, so Ryan's hard work and memory will live on. Apparently, something happened. If I go over to Shark Tank blog, it says the deal with Lori never closed due to the company offering another company offering a similar product that resulted in litigation, which is why the deal never closed. Sadly, shortly after appearing on the show, Ryan was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. He passed away on June 5th, 2018. His wife and best friend tried to reignite sales in 2019 with an Indiegogo campaign, but it only raised $6,500. Social media has not been updated since June of 2019, and as of 2021, the company website, while functioning, still doesn't list products for sale. As of February 2022, the website is dark, and we presume the company is out of business. So that is really that is heartbreaking to hear. And yeah, I mean the newest post there was 2019. On Twitter is also in 2019. And yeah, so the other products that that it made me think of as soon as I watched it was the Aero Lounger. I don't know if this is the original Aero Lounger because there's like a million other companies that make these things, where you basically just whip, spin 360 degrees.
Close the opening quickly to rest between spins. Open the second side wide and spin again to fill the other side of the air chair. To seal, close the opening and roll away from your body until you can no longer roll. Twist both ends of the air chair towards yourself. Clip to secure.
So this is like, some kind of like chair thing. But these other ones are like the ones that I was thinking that came to mind, where you just kind of do that similar type of thing with the whip it around and make it inflate. But yeah, that's really that's really a shame. It doesn't always end in awesomeness, even though the deal sounded really sweet. I mean, I don't know that any of the Sharks would have continued to be wanting to be involved, except with the exception of maybe Kevin, who wanted his money, and had more upside baked in with his $800,000 return. Would have been interested in going to fight that legal battle, but yeah. Anyway, this video was recommended by Savant, and if Ryan's fiance, if you're watching and like to come on and talk about Ryan, I'd love to have you come on. Just reach out below with a comment. Like Savant here said, "Hi Joe, could you do a video reviewing Windcatcher on Shark Tank?" Well, that's what we're here doing. So thank you so much for requesting. If you have a request, drop it down below. I appreciate you being a part of the super community and watching all the way to the end here. I'll see you in one of these two videos over here. Take care and go be super.